Greetings, everybody. Did you know that fat is actually really good for you? That you absolutely need some fat in your diet? That there are essential fatty acids in fats that are good for your skin, your brain, your heart, your digestive system, your ability to absorb nutrients, the ability to store nutrients. So fats are great, but you want to make sure that you're including the right kind of fats in the diet. So Joanne, Shearer, Parkin, registered dietitian, nutritionist, here with you today to talk to you about the skinny on fats. And so I want to take you back about 30 years ago when fat was bad. You remember that, right? Low fat diets, and everybody's counting fat grams, right? Because evidently we were convinced that fat was going to cause heart disease, make you fat, right? So what did everybody do? We complied. We cut back on fat and we counted our fat grams. And so what we did was we replaced the fat with carbohydrates. And the food industry, they got in on the act, and so they produced all of these low-fat or fat-free foods like fat-free cookies and fat-free crackers, right? When you read your labels, look for fat-free. Well, all that processed carbohydrates had a horrible effect on the health of Americans, right? It backfired. We didn't get healthier. It actually went reverse. We gained more weight, especially right here around the middle, right? The belly fat. And actually, I believe, contributed to increase of diabetes and heart disease. And so today, we are back into balance. That's right, balance, right? With the Mediterranean diet, because the Mediterranean diet, about 40% of the calories in the Mediterranean diet come from fat. But the majority of the fat is healthy fat, primarily from olive oil, right? So let's talk about the various healthy fats that you can include in your diet. And of course, like I said, my favorite is olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. But you have to be really careful about what type of olive oil that you purchase. Buy the highest quality you can find. That's my advice, number one. High quality olive oil with a seal that certifies that it is exactly what it says, a high quality, cold pressed, unrefined. And I have two olive oil varieties here, I should say brands, that I just pulled from my cabinet. This first one I just bought at Costco. And this is an Italian olive oil, and it is cold extracted olive oil. And you can see on the back, and maybe I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know if you can see there's a little certification label, and it's an Italian, so I can't read that. But also it does say that it's extra virgin olive oil is traced to its origin and produced according to strict standards. Okay, so I actually really like this olive oil. And this is critical when you buy your olive oil. When you get it home, first thing you do is open the lid and you smell it. You want to make sure it's not rancid or it doesn't have an off flavor, because that can mean that could be an oxidized oil. Remember to use your olive oil within the use by date. Usually it's on the bottom. I'm going to see if there's a use by date on here. Yes, used by January 2022. I actually think you should really kind of scratch that off and put another date on there and try to use it within 6 months, at the most a year, right? So the next one that I have here is a California olive oil. And I always look, when these are domestic or locally or grown in the United States or produced in the United States, I always look for the Olive Oil California Council seal, which is on this one. That's what I'm finding on this one. I'm also finding a non-GMO verification on this one too as well. Again, what do you want to do? You want to smell? Smells good. Smells yummy. Okay, so those are two brands of olive oil. Just example of what you can find on your shelves. Over here, let's go to the next oil. Next oil should be sitting here really is avocado oil. Because olive oil is high in monounsaturated fatty acids, or MUFAs as we call them, right? And why MUFAs? Well, monounsaturated fatty acids do not increase your cholesterol levels in your bloodstream. And it's not just about the cholesterol with your fats. For example, with extra virgin olive oil, you're getting a lot of antioxidants as well. You're getting polyphenols, and also you're getting another antioxidant called squalene, which I learned about that when I was in cardiovascular nutrition years ago. All fantastically healthy for you for any chronic disease. So it's just not about the healthy fats, it's also about the antioxidants that you get with those healthy fats that also provides some great health benefits. So if we have olive oil, excuse me, avocado oil sitting here, of which I ran out of avocado oil just lately and just went to grab some, and I realized I didn't have any in my pantry. So avocado oil is similar in nutrient and nutritional profile and also in its fatty acid profile. So avocado is kind of the new kid on the block. We don't have the history of avocado oil and its health benefits like we do with extra virgin olive oil. So my preference is actually to use extra virgin olive oil because we do have that history, right? We have centuries of history of using extra virgin olive oil, and we know about all these health benefits. However, if you want a lighter oil that is doesn't have that kind of nice, that strong pungent flavor of olive oil, then you would choose maybe avocado oil, which you could use in cooking and maybe in your lighter salad dressings, you know, like in baking maybe. That would be a great place to use avocado oil. And of course, there's canola oil. Now, canola oil has kind of fallen out of favor recently. It too is high in those MUFAs, the monounsaturated fatty acids, and that's why it gained favor back like 20 years ago. Much preferable to polyunsaturated fatty acids from vegetable oils and soybean oils. Now, the problems that you have with those type of oils is because they're polyunsaturated fatty acids, they're more susceptible to oxidation and turning rancid, and you do not want to consume rancid oils. Oxidized oils increase oxidation in your body, oxidative stress. That is the leading theory on why we get the chronic diseases of aging, high oxidative stress. So you do not want to put oxidized oils in your body. And that's kind of my preference as far as oils, is I stay away from soybean oil and any vegetable oils because of the polyunsaturated fatty acids and the risk of increasing oxidative stress and inflammation. So there's so many other great choices, right? So many great choices. Canola oil, I have this one here. If you're going to choose canola oil, make sure that you're choosing, again, it's all about the quality, everybody. It truly is on your oils. This one is expeller pressed, non-GMO. As you can see, this is a really high quality canola oil. I use a little bit of this once in a while, not much as I would use avocado oil or extra virgin olive oil. And last but certainly not least is coconut oil. Now this one is not my usual coconut oil that I use. I usually have an extra virgin, like a virgin coconut oil, which has a little more of the coconut flavor to it, which I really like. A lot of people don't like that. This pure coconut oil here, this one, which is a little more refined, does not impart that coconut taste. And in fact, if you smell it, you can't really smell any coconut at all in this one. So for those dishes, and there's certain things where you might want that, where you want a pure coconut oil and not one that's a virgin, this might be a good choice. But for the most part, I like to use the virgin coconut oil, which my big container of that also I've just depleted recently. As you can see, I tend to use a fair amount of fat in my diet, but I am finding that when you balance the fat out with making sure you have plenty of healthy foods besides, plenty of fruits and vegetables and all those low glycemic index carbohydrates we talked about last week, right? Talked about all those high fiber GI carbohydrates that you can include in moderation in your diet. And when you're using these healthy oils, it doesn't seem like, the calories and the fats don't seem to be that big a problem. In fact, you've got to stay tuned as I'm going to do a whole video on coconut oil. and how it can actually help with the toxic belly fat. So stay tuned. You've got to come back here and listen to me on watch my video when I talk about coconut oil, right? And last but certainly not least, dairy fat. And you're saying, are you kidding? Really? High fat dairy foods? Yep. The research is showing that people who consume high fat dairy versus those that consume low fat or no fat dairy, those consuming the high fat dairy have less obesity. Interesting, right? Now you're thinking, now why is that? So here's my favorite high fat Greek yogurt, 5% milk fat, which I use it in place of sour cream when I want to add a little richness, to a sauce, and I would put a spoonful of this in. High-fat dairy contains a fatty acid called conjugated linoleic acid. That particular fatty acid has what we call a thermogenic effect. I can't say that word today. Which means that it kind of helps to boost up your metabolism. I think back on the days when I was on the farm as a farm kid. We literally almost drank cream. And I think about that, like, we did not have any weight problems back then, really. And you think about all that, dairy fat that we consumed. And that may be why I believe that people who consume high-fat dairy have really lower body weight. So in the Mediterranean diet, as you know, yogurt is consumed in moderation along with cheese, which also cheese has some conjugated linoleic acid, as well as beef is also a good source of CLA. And especially grass-fed beef seems to have a higher content of those conjugated linoleic acid fatty acids. Okay, everybody, that's it for today. I hope that you've learned that healthy fats are an important component of an overall healthy diet and can actually be helpful for weight management because fat stays in your stomach twice as long as carbohydrates and protein. So it actually makes you feel full longer. So including a little fat in your diet is actually great for weight management in the long term. So post and let me know in the comments what your favorite fats are and how you're using them. So this week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to feature salad dressing recipes. We're going to be talking about how to incorporate these healthy fats into your diet. I want to thank Sue Doden for that fabulous post on how you can make your own healthy salad dressings. 321, awesome post. Sue, that was great. Thank you so much for posting that. You just kind of started out the week just right with us. We're talking about the skinny on fats. So be sure to comment and let me know if this has been helpful. Okay, everybody, God bless and have a great day.